Sci-Fi.
Hey everybody, welcome to Real Life Sci-Fi with Wade and Willie. I'm Wade.
I'm Willie.
This is a podcast about the paranormal and contemporary mythology. Join us on patreon.com/reallifesci-fi for access to 2 bonus episodes a week, video feeds, and more. And visit RealLifeSciFi.show. We've got, I don't know, merchandise or something. I fucking just don't care. I'm going to be a waterman now. I'm going to be a waterman. And I don't care. All this is, I'm leaving this all in the dust once I'm become a waterman. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go to patreon.com/reallifesci-fi and listen to the bonus episodes, motherfuckers.
Yeah, you're like a pre-scientist. That's all I'll say. Pre-scientist?
You know, the job posting did say scientist, so I think I can call myself a scientist now.
Woo! As a scientist, my answer is this.
Yeah. I'll be the 5th doctor who doesn't agree that Colgate is good. Let's welcome aboard the SSRLSF. It's the author of the book, The Dirt That Feeds You. You can find him at youtube.com/Grand Canyon TV. It's our great pleasure to welcome Krocky Meshkin.
What's up, guys?
What up?
Hey, man. So here's the thing. We're recording. This doesn't come out on this day, but we are recording on April Fool's Day. And I'm a little worried about what's going to happen during this episode because are you going to punk us?
What? Come on. It's not opposite day. It's not opposite day.
It's not.
It's April Fool's Day.
What have you been up to, man?
I'm living the good life.
Still out there in the Grand Canyon with your shed.
Yes, living on the fringe of civilization, and I'm loving it more than ever because I wake up, I look at the birds, I watch the sunrise.
You built that place from the ground up, right? The whole thing?
That's correct, yeah. I kind of went ghost
Well,
for
but
like
hang on,
4
because I
years.
heard you built it on rock and roll.
Well, they built the city on rock and roll.
The city of Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
but you've been out there for a while now. When did you go out there?
This
Because
is
I'm
my
curious about
10th year in Arizona.
10th year.
10th year. Yeah, it's wild.
Because you were in LA doing hip hop bands and Channel 101 and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm. And I still flow.
Is that your voice?
Wade and Willie,
Is that your...
doing a show. Krocky Meshkin still got that flow.
True that.
Just soak that in. For the listeners at home that can't see me, I look really cool right now.
We can't hear that, Willie.
Oh.
Do it again, maybe if we're not talking.
Hey, yo.
I don't think it's possible because of all the sound elimination.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's my question though. You're out there on the fringe, not completely off the grid though.
Completely off the grid, yes.
Well, okay, but so I can't track your bank accounts.
I mean,
you're not completely off the grid. You're off the electrical grid, but you're not off the government grid. Like they still can get you, right?
Yes, and I am working on my own gold supply, silver supply. So, I'm in transitioning to that.
Is there gold in them canyons, or are you collecting rings?
Willie, we cannot talk about things like that.
I got 2 metal detectors, man. I'll meet you out there.
The men in black are gonna show up to my door. Easy. They drop down in a helicopter, just boom, on a road.
I'm just gonna say this. If you found gold in the Grand Canyon, that belongs to the American people, not you.
Okay. Yes. And you guys ever hear of, the Hoover Dam, Glen Canyon Dam?
Yeah.
Here's a theory. I'm going to toss this one out in the universe. I think they are giant sluice boxes. These dams are essentially catching all the heavies. All the heavies sink to the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
And whenever they run out of water in Lake Mead or Lake Powell, I imagine there's going to be a ton of gold at the base of those dams.
Oh, you don't think they're just collecting it as it comes in?
You can't get down there. I don't think.
Because it's on the front side of the dam where all the water comes. And then the metal sinks to the bottom, so it's just kind of trapped in like a corner.
Oh, we got to clean out the dam so that we can flush it.
Well, why don't we scuba dive down there? Is that dangerous?
Depends who you are. If you're like Jason Bourne or James Bond or Wonder Woman, I mean, I'm sure it's not that difficult.
Okay, so it's pretty difficult.
I'm gonna throw. No, I'll wait. I'll wait and throw that
Okay,
one
you
out there.
wait. Because I want to ask you more about living in the Grand Canyon and the sort of like things that are happening in the world.
Yeah.
Have you separated yourself from all of the things that are happening in the world, or do you still pay attention, or what's the vibe out there?
I'm very much in the loop. So a couple days ago, the ants first emerged from ant hill number 3. They spent the
Okay.
winter underground.
How are they looking this year?
They're looking pretty good, well
Yeah?
rested.
They got
Uh,
some big guys or what do you think?
well, yeah, yeah. There's some
Like
people. Looks like they've
healthy?
been
Like
working
healthy.
out down underground,
Okay.
spent the winter
Yeah.
working out,
So
bulking
they
up.
got to
Cool.
have some sturdy exoskeletons if they had a good winter.
Oh yeah,
Eating all that dirt or whatever they eat for the whole year, for the whole winter. They come
they
out, they're like little tanks.
Yeah, exactly. They're ready to rock. And it's always right
Do
around the equinox. The equinox for us was March
March.
16th. I'm gonna throw out another controversy here. So if you have one of those sunset sunrise apps, if you look for the equal day and night, it's never March 20th,
Yeah.
but it's all over the news. Oh, the equinox
Yep.
today, March 20th. Celebrate the equinox. Oh, equal day and night. No, it's how could it be the same every single place in the world?
Yeah.
oh,
Especially
oh.
we don't have an exact. I know that we adjust to for the year, but that spot where it is equal changes every year. It must.
Thank you. Yes,
I think
thank
they're
you.
just trying to have fun, you know. I think they're just saying like, "Hey, it's about that time." I
Hey,
don't. I
we
don't
we
think.
we
I
can
don't think
bank
they're being
this.
science about
I
it.
say bank this future episode, equinox controversies,
Well, we could,
because
sure,
they're doing their secret ceremony. They're doing the equinox ceremony, and then we don't know about it. And they celebrate. They had all this fun, partied, and then they're like, "Hey, the equinox is today."
but like you, how many equinox parties did you go to? Because I went to a few, and like it would be weird if it wasn't on the 20th, because I'm so used to that day. I mean, like if you
Yeah.
was Jesus really born on the December 25th? No.
Okay, you got me there. You got me there. Coming together to celebrate for a reason.
It's about community.
Equinox is the reason for the season.
What else is going on outside these ants?
I'm going to be real here for a minute. I did have an incredible sighting out here on the ranch. I saw, this was maybe a month, 2 months ago. Two bald eagles came to visit, and they brought a juvenile.
Oh
So the
wow.
juvenile bald eagle is kind of like really dark, kind of
Yeah,
brown and white speckled.
they don't get
I
white till they're old, right?
Yes.
Do you think it was theirs, or do you think they got it from somewhere?
Who knows? Maybe I should report it. See something, say something.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe this
there's a
was
lot of
just
pedophiles out there.
a couple working on a threesome.
Oh, yeah, they like it young. They
You're
want
just
that young
polluting
cuckold.
my beautiful fringe life, my fringe civilization life. I'm living in beautiful flowers and clean air, and you guys got to bring your big city ideas.
Yeah, man. It's weird that like sex hasn't caught on out there.
I mean, speak for yourself.
All right. You want to do the WoW scale? Should we dive into that?
Yeah.
The WoW scale stands for WadeandWilly. It's a 5-question quiz. At the end of the 5 questions, I will give you a score anywhere between 0 and 5. If you're more of a 0, you're more of a Wade. If you're more of a 5, you're more of a Willy. Are you ready to be Wade on the WoW scale?
Yes.
First question, 3-parter. Do you believe in aliens? If so, have they visited Earth? If so, have they visited Earth in the last 300 years?
Yes. I think aliens have visited Earth. I'd say they've been here within the past 300 years.
Do you see any out there? You see any weird shit walking
I did,
around?
yeah. And I'm not gonna like play up anything crazy because I did Star Talks for many years. So I
Mhm.
initiated Star Talks at the first international dark sky certified lodging in the entire world. I was their Star Talk guy. So, I'm pretty humble about it though. I'm not trying to brag or anything.
Well,
But
I mean, congratulations. I wouldn't be humble if I was in your shoes. That sounds like an
so
accomplishment.
I got paid to obsess over the night sky for about three,
And
four
you turned
years.
it into Michael Jordan joke.
Yo, he
And
got the
thank
book.
you. Thank you. Yep. Here we go. The
Beyond the Blue Horizon. That is an incredible book. Beyond the Blue Horizon is the name of the book. Look that up on eBay, guys. That's a great night sky book. I could play things up for when I had visitors and people come out of the city and they'd never seen the Milky Way and their minds are blown. And maybe there would be a SpaceX launch and you could play that up like, oh, I don't know what that is. Um, but I honestly I have had moments where I've seen things that they don't fall into that satellite speed, they don't fall into the SpaceX imagery, they don't fall into the ISS look, things that are like circling and twisting and but not looking like an aircraft that I know.
Do you want to describe what you saw, or you're not even speaking specifically?
Yeah, no, I got one night where I sat out because I was seeing this thing just like circle and circle, and I would estimate it was about 10 miles away and just like circling, but no flashing lights.
Same
like,
color and size as a star.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just going around and around.
Yeah, nothing crazy, nothing.
But you're
insane.
like, that's weird.
It's not a helicopter. It's not a plane. It's not a
right.
It could have been a helicopter. It could have been one of those Vegas tours where they put people in a helicopter and they give them like machine guns and they go and they shoot like cars and shit.
They'd have to not have the anti-collision beacons and the red and white lights.
Yes.
Oh, true.
Yes.
True.
Hit them with the facts.
And those things you could see. I try to, whenever I see UFOs and try to tape them, I always catch an airplane in there too. Like, look over there. This one's farther away. You see the beacon. Like, anyways, go on.
I've got a lot of my like theories, to be honest. Like there was that whole drone thing going on right on the East Coast, all the drones. Everyone's, oh, we're seeing these weird drones. And they're like, well, they're not drones that we know. They could be UFO drones. Or I think on one hand, there's like theories that like now that we have like the whole satellite network that's up there, like cell phones can now tap into the satellite network and things like that. Is it possible that they can create some kind of mirage or something? And then the question beyond that, like, is it sort of like a muddying of the waters? Like, are the aliens around and they're here, but they're gonna hide it by creating all these other things in the night sky so that they can kind of like pass without being noticed?
Right. I mean, there's 10,000 plus satellites orbiting the Earth right now, which is an amazing number. So now these things, if they're here, they have to fly.
It's one of the best numbers. It's such an amazing number. 10,000.
Huge.
All right. Question number 2. Ghosts.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I didn't see that you stepped away. We could have vamped.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to get a little more light because I'm like falling into freaky red light zone here. But I do like the red light because it's like recording. It's like classic recording booth red light.
And Nightcrawler color.
Yeah.
If you're hunting for Nightcrawler.
I like it because it makes me feel like you're insane, and it's always like that. And you just live in like a red lit shack. It's just the red is driving you insane because red makes you aggressive, right? Isn't that the thing that they say?
Yes, it does. It makes you hungry for human blood.
Oh shit, you're a vampire. Did you see Nosferatu? What'd you think?
My Lithuanian side's coming out, guys.
Who is on your shirt? I couldn't guess.
So
hair.
For the viewers at home, I'm wearing a t-shirt and there's
a
very simple drawing on the shirt. They can only see the top of the hairline. So we're going to see, can Willie and Wade guess who this is an illustration of?
To me, it's Abe Lincoln, but it's not.
First of all,
I gave you some eyes. I showed the eyes.
First of all, do we get any hints or are we just going by the illustration?
These guys were popular
so
in
it's a
80s.
Band. It's a band.
Well, you're making assumptions. I'm not going to give you that.
Well, it can't be an art collective. It's not fucking, what's his name? The freak with the studio.
Andy Warhol.
Yes, Andy
Warhol.
It's not Andy Warhol. I know that because this guy's got thinning hair.
This is like the ultimate April Fool's for you guys. I can't wait till you find out who's on my shirt. The audience is just loving this. You guys got to talk it out, guys. Talk it out. I mean, the audience.
Okay, Willie, let's talk it out. Okay, so it's an 80s band. Is that what you said? You didn't say band. You said 80s.
I said
I know. You said
popular in the 80s.
You said they were popular in the 80s.
It looks like it could be Malcolm in the Middle, Dad, but it's not because it was the 90s.
Okay, I'm giving you eyes. We got to speed this along. I'm giving you eyes. You're getting eyebrows. Describe it. Describe it for
eyebrows.
The listeners.
There's eyebrows and they're bushy eyebrows.
It looks like it could be Abe Lincoln, but it's not.
It still does kind of look like Abe
Now
Lincoln,
they're getting eyes. Describe the eyes.
The eyes are baggy
wrinkled,
and old.
very different. Each one is completely different from the other.
He's
Ooh,
got
okay,
kind of
that's
a
a hint. That's a
smirk.
hint, Willie. Why are they completely different?
Oh, it's Gorbachev and Reagan.
What? No, it can't be because there's no birthmark.
Okay. Superman and Gene Hackman.
These guys are
Wow.
still doing shows today and movies today.
Looks like two faces are combined in one.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Okay.
It's not Bob and David. I see
Look
an
at the
N and
hair.
an
oh,
S. So the
It's
right
audio.
side
It's
of his
audio
jaw
platform.
is a Superman jaw, and the left side is like more of my jaw, like a normal jaw.
I mean, it does look like Gene Hackman and Christopher Reeves, but it's not. It's not.
Well, Gene.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's twins. It's Arnold and Danny.
Danny DeVito.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. What an amazing shirt.
Can you just cover up the Arnold side?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
hard part
Yeah.
is you have their faces are
Sorry,
such
it's
different
backwards.
sizes that you
I know
have
it's hard. Oh yeah, that does look like Danny DeVito.
to
Look at
make a
that.
DeVito,
match. They have to
and
stretch out
then
the
it's a
Arnold.
little more
Arnold,
DeVito, but yeah, Arnold's face is longer, right? So they
right,
stretch the
right.
shirt. Okay. Okay. Next topic. Okay,
Oh, I
Okay.
love that
moving
shirt. I
along.
tried to get
Moving
Moose to
along.
dress up like Danny DeVito and me and Art as Arnold this last Halloween.
Really?
He wouldn't do it.
Oh, that would be killer.
No, dude.
Yes. Twins. I love that movie. Well, I love this shirt too because there's
Tonight
that
is your night,
famous
bro.
the famous scene where Schwarzenegger has never worn a t-shirt. He's never seen a t-shirt.
Born to be bad.
And
I know that
so,
movie very good.
so
I
I
love
love that it's a
twins.
t-shirt.
What do you guys think of the pregnant one? What was that called? Mr. Expecting, Mr.
Mr. Mom? No,
Oh, Junior.
Junior.
Junior, my new movie.
I couldn't watch it.
got to go see my new movie, Junior.
David Letterman, I'm here to tell I made a movie where I'm pregnant and I'm a man.
You know, because Danny DeVito's like a piece of shit, so he's like all of the shit. It's funny. I was just watching a press junket for Twins for some reason. I don't remember
Of
why.
course you are. Of course.
And they were talking to Arnold, but then on the poster, it was a picture of Arnold, but it said Danny DeVito because that's the joke. They're twins, you know? And so
yes.
he kept going, no, that's Danny. That's
It's Danny.
Danny. That's not me.
Come on.
He was just like really into the bit. Ghosts. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Bigfoot.
Yeah. I've spoke
Okay.
about the Mogollon monster. Arizona version is called the Mogollon monster.
I always forget
Is that-
that.
What's that named after? What's Mogollon?
Mogollon, I don't know where that name originally comes from, but Mogollon is a geological formation. The Mogollon Rim is you come onto the Mogollon Rim and then you're entering onto the Colorado Plateau. So it's basically essentially the high elevation that we have up here, the 6, 7, 8,000 feet elevations. And
Yeah, that's so high. Oh my God, that's so high.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are probably at 3, 4, maybe 500 feet right now.
Yeah, but we're from Denver, dude, and it's a mile high. Illuminati.
Yes, Illuminati is alive and well, doing a lot of interesting things lately.
Like what?
I think the big thing that's going on right now, I'm going to throw, I'm going to try to throw all my conspiracy theories out here
Nice.
on this episode. I'm an environmentalist, right? I live on solar power. I got, just everything in my life. I've gone
Yeah, you drive a
vegan
Tesla.
for like
You were like
10 years.
you were one of the later guys to buy one of those Cybertrucks, which was weird, but yeah, I guess it's good for the environment.
Yeah. I got the whole package, guys. You know,
You got
The
it wrapped,
bamboo
you got it
yoga
wrapped in
mat.
gold and shit.
I got it all. I got the composting toilet. But what I do think is happening, because I'm like, if these like Illuminati and these like billionaires, if they have kids and they're thinking about the future and they're thinking about future generations, because that's essentially why you make a ton of money. Why else would you make billions of dollars unless you're going to pass it down to somebody? But why are they not thinking about the climate, right? So what I think's happening is they are trying to heat up the earth because there is something hidden under the ice caps that they're trying to get to.
That's interesting. I mean, somebody was saying the next world war isn't going to happen until somebody breaks the treaty in Antarctica because everybody who knows the secret down there is like sticking to the rules. And
All right, so they're melting the ice caps so that they can get like I don't know.
That's all I
something.
can think about because like
Megatron.
just why? Like why would why would our world be going at this rate of just extreme capitalism, extreme development, extreme mining? You know, like the latest thing is to run all this AI, they're going to need more power. So now
Yeah.
it's all about nuclear and bringing back
Well,
nuclear
do
power
you
plants.
think? Let me propose a different. Instead of melting the ice to get whatever they're going after, do you think that they just like know about a different planet that they can go to, and they're like, "Fuck this planet. Let's make as much money as." But then their money would be
Yeah.
useless.
No, well, yeah, that's a great theory. But the money can easily be converted to, precious metals or, I mean, Mr. Beast makes a ton of money, but he essentially uses money as a vehicle. He takes like 95% of what he makes and puts it into his future videos. And that's possibly what these Illuminati types are doing. They make money, but they put it into some other venture right away.
Spaceships.
Are you saying like it's almost like this is like Prim, or like you guys know Prim, that town on the way to
Yeah,
Las Vegas?
Nevada.
So
Sure.
like Earth is like the Prim of the universe.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's
Oh
kind of
gosh.
it's
It's just like, whatever.
it's
Yeah,
where
we'll
you
stop
stop.
there.
It's where you
We'll hang out
stop
there
when
for
you're a
an
little too
hour.
tired. Yeah.
Oh, somebody's getting, yeah, fuck.
Oh, let's set up a casino here. Yeah, and never come back. We'll set up a casino, we'll run it, we'll make money off of it, but I'm not gonna hang out here.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
those who don't
that's
know,
my
Prim
analogy.
Prim is basically three casinos across the highway from one another. It's kind of a chill place to gamble if you hate Vegas, if you hate like fun. You know what
Yeah,
I
you
mean?
fun
It's like
haters.
If you just
People in
want
Prim are gonna come hard.
buffet and slots, and then maybe a couple of bands that
and
just
a roller coaster
aren't ever going to play anywhere else, like
and
Okay,
a
but I'm
tram
gonna
that takes you over the interstate.
Yeah, I'm gonna call something out. Is like we all know it, and we've all probably stopped there, which is the irony of this place that like shouldn't exist. It's like, why does this exist? But we went there.
yeah.
It's
I
it's
rode the
it's
roller
yeah.
coaster.
They have to do gimmicky things like that, right? So maybe that's why, maybe that's why planet Earth has Six Flags. It's to call people from other planets here. They're like, oh, you gotta try this Superman coaster. It takes you straight up.
They shut it down. They shut it down. All right, last question. The multiverse.
Ooh, oh, are we talking like Joe Dispenza? Are we talking like Becoming
Yes,
Immortal?
yes, that
What's
counts
what's
too.
Joe Dispenza?
He's got a book called Becoming Immortal, which I am in love with this book.
He's a rewire your brain, does a bunch of shows on Gaia. Basically, that the multiverse and manifesting is all at your fingertips, and we are all gods, and you just have to,
Just
you
gotta,
can
man.
heal
Okay,
yourself.
I'm really into that, but in practice, it doesn't work.
This sounds like a future YouTube video for me. We're gonna practice this on you, Wade, and it'll be like supersize me. We're gonna do Joe Dispenza meditations for what was it, 30 days, and we'll see what happens.
So I have to do them.
You got to do them because yeah, you're like the dude
I'm the test subject.
the dude who
I'm Morgan Spurlock.
rest in peace Morgan Sporlock who ended up
Sporklock.
yeah, I can't say his name. I
It's
feel
Sporklock because
I
he
feel like
ate.
I'm really being offensive right now. But Mr. Morgan,
Did that guy die?
he died.
Yeah,
Well, he also like self-canceled. He was like during the Me Too movement, he was like, "Yeah, I kind of did that." And everyone was like, "What are
Interesting.
you talking about, man? Like why did you bring yourself up here?" I think maybe he just wanted the attention.
I think
He
he
died, huh?
misunderstood the Me Too and thought it was people coming forward and they would be forgiven if they
Hmm.
confessed.
I think he was forget. No one made a big deal out of it. I don't know what he did, but his career was kind of, he had already done his stuff, I feel like.
What did he die of? Something completely just
I
whatever.
thought it was heart stuff.
I think it was the McDonald's, guys. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, all McDonald's for 30 days? Or was it a year? Was it a
No, it was
year?
only
How long?
30. It was only 30 days.
I look,
Like something that a bunch of people do all the time.
I don't get it. I don't get it. This is why I have rice and beans
Oh,
cooking
he had
behind me
cancer.
right now.
He was
I gotta
53.
I gotta go to my wood burning stove and pull my organic rice and beans off really quick. I'll be back in a second.
Okay, but you're a yes on multiverse.
Yes, on multiverse, absolutely.
Okay.
And I'm trying to wrap my head around it because Joe Dispenza talks about it in a way that was for me it was totally different than like
Well, go get your beans and rice, and then Willie will fill me in on Joe Dispenza so that you don't have to.
okay, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that I did do stunts for Spider-Man Far From Home, and that was a highlight of my career going to Marvel Studios, which I did sign an NDA, so come after me, Marvel, please, whatever. But I became obsessed with Spider-Man, and Joe Dispenza's multiverse is different than that Tobey
Then the
Maguire.
Spider-Verse, right? How much of that was bullshit? Do you think he didn't do stunts for?
I want to know what stunts he did.
He's been in Grand Canyon for 10 years. He didn't do stunts for Spider-Man.
We're good. Yeah, I put it on the marble countertop, and
Marble universe.
The Marvel universe.
I'm living that marble.
What stunts did you do? I want to know because I've seen that movie so many times with Moose.
I run from explosions when Jake Gyllenhaal is blowing up the Tower Bridge. So I'm a pedestrian dressed in pedestrian clothes, but hired to run from explosion.
Is this true?
Maybe
No, it's not. Is it?
I signed an NDA, and it sucks because
But the movie's out. The NDA only exists to keep the plot points in.
Okay.
You can.
That's
you can
how I feel
spill.
too.
You can spill.
Okay. Well,
I don't
I
think
did-
this
I
is
did
true at all.
ruin
You've
the
been in
ending.
Grand Canyon for 10 years.
I do want to apologize for anyone who hasn't seen Spider-Verse or Spider-Man Far From Home because I did ruin the ending.
Well, you said Jake Gyllenhaal was in it, which is a pretty big spoiler.
Yeah.
Well, that's the quiz. You're off the charts, Willie. You're like you're a full 5. You're probably higher. I don't think we've ever had anyone say yes to all these things. Not in the last 10 years. Oh wait, we've only been doing this 10 years. I'm looking at my notes here.
The
I
logic
don't see.
side of my brain has shriveled away.
But
I mean,
if the Joe Dispenza universe is correct, then it needs to dissolve. It needs to dissolve because
shit.
the prison is you're stopping yourself. We're raised to stop ourselves from all this stuff.
Whoa.
It falls in line with everything I've been leaning on and saying about
Okay.
multiverse really being like a prism, but we are all of the different ones, and whichever one you focus on is the one that you're aware of, but they're all possible.
I think I've been focusing on some really good things. The past 5 months of my life have been incredible. And I want to say I'm blessed and grateful for the people in my life and grateful for finding that book.
Well, you don't have to rub it in, man.
I'm just trying to acknowledge any listeners out there who, I'm grateful.
Yeah, congratulations, dude. We're all really happy for you.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's get to the topic. Willie, hit us with that.
Tonight on Real Life Sci-Fi, freaky fossilized footprints or trace fossils. The trace fossils are like footprints, trails, and other evidence of biological activity. They're different from body fossils like bones and teeth. They're more rare than skeletal fossils. And it seems that a lot of the human footprint fossils don't really align with what science and history agree on, from humans being in America when that happened and when we weren't supposed to be walking with dinosaurs. So what do these footprints reveal? Find out tonight on Real Life Sci-Fi.
So question number 1. These are footprints that are in America.
There's some, we're going to get into some, just a smorgasbord of footprint fossils that don't align with our current science and history.
But are they in America?
There's a bunch that are actually crazy enough.
And what does that have to do with anything? Because we know that there was people here before Columbus and the tribes and stuff, right?
Yeah, but also, I mean, this was news, last year? The White Sands ones, Krocky?
Yeah, it came down to like an official paper. So there were, whispers about it for years. I think probably like 4 or 5 years now that they had found them in the White Sands I think it's a national park now. It was a national monument. To really break it down for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, you get fossils where like it's in a rock and it looks like the bones of an animal because the animal was in mud and then it became rock and then something replaced the bone. But we're talking about trace fossils are even more rare because it's just like a footprint. There's nothing else to go with it, but it's there and it can be studied.
Just to add on top of the rarity, turning into a fossil is like winning the lottery. It's that rare. Just a regular fossil. Most things don't fossilize. It has to be the exact right conditions where something dies and immediately gets covered with something that preserves it. And then over time, those pieces all get replaced with rock. Well, the trace fossils is even more rare because whatever that footprint was settled on needs to harden and then get covered with something and preserved. So they're more rare than just fossils. So anyways, go
So
on.
this is like like lava or something.
For the most part, it has to be something soft, like like a wet. I get what you're saying. Could lava cover that and immediately seal it off?
Well, yeah, I was thinking of what's the P town where they all died from the lava?
Oh,
The
yeah,
old one.
in Italy.
Yeah.
Um,
We all know what I'm talking about. We don't have to
Yeah,
think of
yeah.
it. Okay. And these things do not line up with our agreed history. Are they finding these things we existed with dinosaurs? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that was one thing. We'll get to that in a bit. The first one, this is
But
just
that's really interesting. All right, no, do your first one.
only because this is the newest of news. This just happened, and it's just now. They're just now
Sure,
confirming
sure.
everything. There were humans in North America before the land bridge. They thinking like so even 23,000 years ago there were humans here, which they don't have a record of any civilization being here. But in order for these footprints to be here, it's not just a rare random occurrence because there's a pregnant woman and they think there was a pregnant one, right, Crocky?
yeah, yeah.
And
There's things they can see in there, like the way somebody's walking, the weight. So yeah, there's
and it's
in
so far
white
south.
sands,
Yeah, go on.
white sands. The belief is yeah, this was some kind of muddy, sandy thing, and they even found seeds. That's what's interesting with it too. So there were seeds that were actually like solidified in the rock that they were able to date this a lot more accurately than other things. But yeah, it goes back further than the land bridge theories. I think it definitely opens the door to the Polynesian migration ideas or people showing up by boat to the West Coast or South America much earlier than was thought.
Yeah, it's weird because the current accepted history of a lot of the Polynesian islands is that a lot of them didn't actually travel and they all died on these islands because they ran out of resources. And it's weird because there is a lot of evidence that they flourished and went to all these different islands and they're like, no, they couldn't have, they didn't leave, they died, they just don't have
Why do
fossils
why
of
do
it.
why do people think that though? Because it's like, yeah, obviously, like we were a migration species, right? Until we conquered all the fucking elements by like building shit
Yeah, well,
and
because
killing tigers.
that history needs you to find the connections. You need to find the bones and the civilization, and
But it's just common sense, isn't it? I mean, what do they think? We all just sprang up on different land masses at the same time?
right?
Fucking stupid. Like, figure it out, science. Like, what about Pangea? Like, I know Pangea was like eternities ago, but like, is there any way that there were humans walking around on Pangea? No, right?
General idea is that that was before
Yeah,
humans. And what's fun with Grand Canyon is when you walk a trail into the Grand Canyon, you're passing all these rock layers. And so it's something that all of my experiences in northern Arizona have allowed me to wrap my head around this in a more interesting way because you're touching and you're feeling and you're seeing the fossils. As you go lower into the canyon, the fossils change. You are going back in time. And so in the, beginning of your hike, you're seeing sea fossils. And then you might see fern fossils or dragon wing fossils. You get a little lower and you're getting to the point before like where fish started to walk on the land and could have left trackways. And then Once you get below that, you're before fish were walking on land. You're to where you have, worm burrows, and down to single-celled organisms would be the lowest fossils when you hike down in the canyon. Would be stromatolites, would be the oldest fossils found in the canyon.
What do those ones look like?
A stromatolite, I've seen a few different examples, but it's almost like almost looks like a webbing or something in the rock. It's very subtle.
Gross. Spiders.
Yeah.
Do you ever get scared because you see one of those fossils and you're like, spiders around here somewhere?
Well, yeah, no, that I have a funny story for that is when Lewis and Clark embarked on their I don't what did they call that? The Lewis and Clark expedition.
Yeah, that sounds right.
They were told, somebody's got to fact check this, but they were told by Benjamin Franklin to look out for giant ground sloths. Because in Benjamin Franklin's front yard, or I'm probably butchering this, I could be wrong. Please don't kill me, world. But in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, somebody's got a skeleton of a giant ground sloth in their front yard. Pretty sure it was Ben Frank. And he told Lewis and Clark, he's like, hey, look out for these giant ground sloths while you're out there.
And they were like, all right, man. Like, what do you want us to do when we get to one?
Right? It's crazy.
Well, the trippy thing is, okay, so with the White Sands trackways, they first found sloth footprints. And this could be a whole other theory. So they found giant ground sloth. It's called the Shasta. Shout out to California, the Shasta ground sloth. They found the footprints of that at White Sands first. And they're like, oh my God, I think we found human footprints.
Yeah.
And they looked at it and they
like
looked at
bear,
it.
like two-legged bears.
Yes. And then, and it was like, it's a sloth. And imagine having that decline in excitement and then finding human footprints alongside the giant ground sloth footprints in White Sands.
Yeah, I'm buzzing with excitement at the mere thought of that. I just don't even know.
Right. So I mean,
on board.
This one's cool. Yeah, right. We start off with this one because it's new, but it really is just like, okay, well, I mean, it's cool because they kind of have to like.
For those of you who don't know, I looked it up. I didn't know.
They have to read
White Sand. Wait, let me finish what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I know I cut you off, but I was just trying to do a little interlude. The White Sands is Nevada, South Nevada, right? Oh, I'm sorry, New Mexico, South New Mexico.
Yes.
If you don't know where it is, then you haven't seen Space Camp, because it's the old landing site for NASA, and the Space Camp kids have to land in White Sands.
Yeah, I've never seen Space Camp.
Which is
really?
Also trippy. I haven't seen it either. Let's have a watch party. We'll discuss.
It's got young Joaquin Phoenix. It's got Sarah Jessica. No, it's the other girl. The woman that married John Travolta, Kelly Preston.
I'm sure it's great.
Yeah, who looked just like Sarah Jessica Parker from Flight of the Navigator. Anyways,
White Sands is kind of a big deal. It's where they did all this like testing sites. It's
a dried lake bed where they have miles and miles of flat land. So yeah, rocket tests.
Virgin Galactic is located right next to it.
Fast car speed land records are held there.
Is that where they do it? That's what it is?
That's
one that real flat fucking... I've seen that. I didn't know that was what it was. I thought that was just in the desert somewhere.
Well, that's part of it. But yeah, White Sands is also sand dunes. There's sand dunes and there's kind of playa stuff. And I once hiked so far in that park, I got to a sign that said, "Caution, undetonated mines."
Oh my gosh, dude.
And then I turned around.
Did you try throwing some rocks?
Going.
I would have thrown some rocks for like an hour.
Poke it with a stick.
That's maybe the funnest way to commit suicide. It's just like walking into that and just being like, I don't know. Oh, every step I take, this is exhilarating.
Instagram Live, I'm going.
Just host a 5K race.
Oh my god.
We
There
got
will
to
be
clean
one
these minds
survivor.
out. Who's suicidal and also a runner?
So yeah, it's interesting in that way too. I mean, you could go down a whole like conspiracy route of like why are they finding this right next to a very hot government activity place?
Well, because it's near Roswell. Is that what you mean?
Roswell, yeah, would be north of there. I mean,
What do
there's a
you mean?
lot
Oh,
going on.
you just mean the testing? Did they do nukes and stuff?
Well, just okay, so the significance. These are the oldest known human footprints in North America. That's the significance. And like, why would they just appear right there next to, where all of this history of crazy government testing and experiments happen? Talk about a multiverse moment.
Well, okay, but you're gonna have to define because that's not the multiverse. That's just our same
It's
universe.
that idea of like aliens showing up because ever since we detonated the first nuclear bomb and then the aliens
Right.
showed up.
Mm-hmm. And this is the first, but it's also okay. But
So wait, are you alluding to the idea that maybe because the nuclear testing is happening, some parallel or multi-dimensional universe, or maybe that's why people moved there because there was energy transferring across times that you're saying something like that? There's some
Exactly. Exactly. You're
significance.
reading my mind. Yep. Boom. We'll go with that. There's an energy there. There's an energy that drew these people to be walking around with the Shasta ground sloths. And it's like you guys saw that movie here, right? Everybody saw that movie here.
yeah, everyone's seen it. It's really good. It's a webcam in a
Oh yeah,
place,
I didn't see it.
and no, but I
it's
hear it.
basically like
It
that.
starts with like primordial ooze, right? And then it like builds to Tom Hanks like proposing to his wife and
Yeah,
having a child.
it's a one camera shot of ooze turning into a fish and then into a thing, and then Tom Hanks.
Does it
It
really
would have been
start that far
interesting if
back?
they kept. No, it does, doesn't
Oh
it?
my god.
Well, but it
I
does.
don't
But
know.
it
I
doesn't.
don't
It
know.
start. It starts with like nothingness or something. I haven't seen it. I've only heard that it starts before you think it starts. Like it starts just
Yeah,
knowing
like
that
you're
it's
waiting
just
in
like.
line for the movie, and you're actually part of the movie.
Oh, that
It's
is
like going to a
funny.
Cirque show in Vegas where
If they for every theater had a camera set up and had you waiting in line for part of the movie.
For one lucky line waiter,
wait,
they superimpose your face over Tom Hanks, so
is
it's like
there
you the whole time.
is there a movie where they put the audience in the movie? Did that happen? Am I making
No,
that
but
up?
that happens in like rides, in like theme park rides.
Yeah, as
Okay.
far as movies are concerned, I think that they tried to trick people, and I don't know. There was something with Gremlins that I remember people saying. No,
Talking
it
about
wasn't Gremlins.
Gremlins.
I don't know. I don't know.
Talk about Gremlins.
Yeah,
But
let's talk about Gremlins.
well, let's do these dinosaur footprints, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's see. Hold on, I got to get to them. Oh crap!
Well,
Does this are you just okay,
that's what
Willie,
the paleontologists say.
here's my
I got to
question.
get to them. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it was a good joke, I guess. You could say that about any profession.
Thank you.
So they found these footprints in Brazil.
Wait, Willie, I have a question.
Yeah.
So Gremlins 3 is coming out this year.
Are you just going to be a vessel for some kind of Christian Science, belief where it's like, no, the Earth's only 2,000 years old, and like we walked with the dinosaurs and stuff, or the dinosaurs
No,
are a
because
hoax?
they don't believe in dinosaurs.
Well,
This
the
is
dinosaurs are a hoax
no.
Yeah, they were
None
put
of
there by
that.
Satan. They're put there by Satan to
to make
tempt
us, I don't
you
know, think that
into.
the Earth was old.
Right? No, I grew up being told those things, but I don't believe those things. And
Wait, really? Your church was that
they said I
anti?
asked them about dinosaur bones, and they said, well, some things are put there for people to not look past their evidence. It's a
Fucking
test.
non-answer, dude. Like, fuck you, pastor.
So basically saying that, like, well, if it doesn't, like the devil put
Well,
stuff there to trick us into not
What
believing.
happens if a dinosaur sins? Are we gonna all get to hell and there's gonna be dinosaurs there?
oh my God. Yeah, the dinosaurs were the biggest sinners. They weren't even supposed to exist. What are you doing? Living and eating plants and eating each other.
Those were
Gobbling shit up like it's your planet.
Isn't it crazy the T-Rex became a chicken? I mean, you got chicken joints on every corner. And that was the T-Rex. That was the biggest, most dangerous, the scariest monster in Jurassic Park movie. And now, like, people are just gobbling it
oh,
up.
I need it spicy. I want that T-Rex spicy.
I think that's what's scary about humans, man. Not only do they exterminate you, but then they turn you into a moneymaker.
Yes. It's like they're like karma from being this like apex predator millions
Just
of
like
years ago.
fuck off. You thought you were cool? We're gonna eat you on Friday.
Yeah, I love the idea of let's say time travel ends up happening and there's some karmic warriors who's like, oh, we're gonna feed some chicken sandwiches to these T-Rex. Let them.
One day, hey, one day you're gonna be sitting in a bucket.
That's why everything tastes like chicken, right? Like that's the whole
Oh,
joke is like
that's
snakes taste like
interesting.
chicken and stuff. Everything just tastes like chicken.
That's an interesting theory there. Yeah, let's bank that future episode.
Ooh, snake, a reptile tastes like a dinosaur. Um,
Right.
so this one, these
I don't know this one. Yeah, hit me with this one. I don't think I
these
know this one.
footprints from I don't know, Paluxy, Paluxy Paluxy riverbed near Glen Rose, Texas. Um, the scientific consensus is that these are either misinterpretations or hoaxes, but they found some human footprints and dinosaur footprints, fossils, both of them in the same like piece of rock.
In the same kind of time period. Like if we're going down the Grand Canyon, humans and dinosaurs are at the same level.
You could not have a fossil of a different time laid next to a fossil of another time because that has already been set into a fossilized stone layer. So it couldn't get
Right.
muddy.
Yeah.
You know,
Um,
it's a trip on where I'm sitting right now. I'm going to throw this in there too. So on this ranch, I'm between the Paleozoic and the Mesozoic. So if I were to walk to my left, um, I would get to Paleozoic fossils. So this is fossils before dinosaurs existed. This would be, it was they called it the Great Dying. It was massive oceans, and I would find sea fossils to my left. So it's a limestone layer. If I walk to my right, I'll find a sandstone layer, and that is the first layer in this region of the Mesozoic. So that would be where you find, they just found some ancient fossils. They were building an apartment.
so cool.
Um,
They got to
yeah,
stop all building everywhere, right? Every time they find something.
yeah, yeah, totally. I
What
don't
kind of
know.
wait, what are the fossils? What are they like in the
Uh,
Mesozoic?
Mesozoic. So there is something called the. You guys are gonna totally think this is April Fool's. There is something called the Arizonosaurus. You can look this up. I swear, Google it. The Arizonosaurus that was found in the layer that I'm sitting on right now. So if I were to start digging around, it's possible I could find another. There's only one. I believe there's only one full Arizonosaurus that's been found, and that was probably about 80 miles from where I'm sitting. But yeah, it's possible I could find another one by just digging
So
around.
is it a dino? What is an Arizonosaurus? Is it a dinosaur and he's just got like the cheapest tea?
It's like tall, like a thick can.
Yeah. He's a little wide, a little
You know,
tall.
just rip on this poor guy. Arizonosaurus is actually beautiful. Okay, I'm Googling it right now. They got some
Wait, but
beautiful
I
artwork.
have a good point. I have a good point to bring up because at what point did the ability to look through the layers of land and uh pinpoint time stop? Because you are sitting on the same level that this Arizonosaurus sat at. So
Yeah.
so then therefore you could have a footprint and an Arizonosaurus could have a footprint, and they would be from like
Well,
tens of thousands of years of difference.
that's what you would call an unconformity. So it's like when rock layer has eroded away down, down, down to something older, but then new sediment is laying on top of that. Like we find that in the Grand Canyon. There's the great unconformity where there's like I want to say like a billion. There's almost like a billion years of rock layer missing. So it's like something happened that eroded it away. And then you get fossils that are completely different on top of each other in that
But
sense.
when that does happen, and there's different layers, and then there's
But
new ground, they can age the difference because of things
yes,
like the
yes,
seas.
they're very clearly different rock layers. It's clear that they're different. It's not this in the same rock layer.
Okay, cool. Asked and answered. Got it.
And then, yeah, the other thing to mention is when rock gets cooked too much, it becomes metamorphic. So your like schist would be a metamorphic rock, or gneiss would be a metamorphic rock. And when the rock almost gets like too much pressure, too much heat, essentially when it's like so low underground, then everything's erased. So it's like this constant, record. It's like a record book. Some people used to call them pages. When you look at different rock layers, they're pages. And the pages at the bottom are getting burned constantly. And so, bring it back to how rare these things are.
Yeah, and so this riverbed, is- let's see. They have this the Taylor Trail, which is what they call the alleged human footprints along the dinosaur tracks. Um, they've Paleontologists and geologists have thoroughly examined these claims and have concluded that the alleged human footprints are either, yeah, I said this earlier, misinterpretations of dinosaur tracks. But let me
What is this theory then?
pull one up.
What I'm kind of less interested on like the actual. I just like what could this be real that humans and dinosaurs, wouldn't that be
So
like crazy? That's
so
insane,
right.
right?
So one idea is that sure, I mean we do have fossil records of layers,
Right.
millions of years, but they also, I only bring this one up to then bring up the next one where they found some really old human footprints that don't match either. Um, like one example is this: they found some in Kenya where they found Homo erectus and Paranthropus boisei. I don't know how to say it. Two ancient hominin species that walked around the same time, suggesting they coexisted and potentially interacted 1.5 million years ago. And I'm going like, okay, well, first off, when did humans come about, or hominin? When did homonyms?
Yeah.
What does this mean for us though? Does it mean that our evolution has stagnated? Like if we had upright, you know, humans, we're talking what do you call them?
Yeah,
Because we got all the different
Bipedal. Bipedal
biped,
humans.
but like we are dude, my brain is fucked. What are we called?
the human family tree or homonyms began about 6 million years ago.
So we've just been the same for 6 million years.
Well, no, the
Or are you
homonyms.
talking? I so that's
Yeah,
the
I'm going
that's the
further back.
distinction that I want. I want to know the distinction between
Okay, here's
Cro-Magnon and what are we? What are we? Homo
Homo
sapien.
sapiens. Yeah.
let me throw this out since I have it up right now is so dinosaurs and mammals both emerged in the Mesozoic time period. The first was the Triassic. So they both emerged in that time. The oldest mammal goes back to 225 million years ago, whereas humans are more recent. But yeah, we know for a fact that there were mammals around in the time of dinosaurs.
Do you think that it was just like a duck-billed platypus, only with human feet, and he's just kind of walking around, and people are like, "Well, that's a human. That's definitely because like he's already got a duck bill and he's already like furry and shit." It's
I
like,
like
what
this,
is
Wade.
this?
I
Like,
like
why
this.
wouldn't he have human feet.
Yeah,
I want a recording of this to get to these scientists. Have you thought of this?
Have you ever thought of it? Just have you ever thought of it? Like, I don't know, think outside the box. Maybe it's just had human feet.
Yeah. The duck-billed platypus has all these things going on. What if there was some other mammal?
He's already crazy. Let's throw some more shit in there. You don't know.
A mammal with human feet, but it's got like a crocodile body and it's got a
Like a
Tom Hanks head.
kangaroo tail, like a fucking weird. Can I say mongoloid, or is that?
I think
is that,
so.
You can say mongoloid still.
And it needed glasses, but those weren't invented until way later, so they had to walk
Moving
up to
along.
things.
Moving along.
The only reason it walked is because I had bad eyesight, so it had to approach things so
I was
that it
trying to
could see. What is that?
So so Homo sapiens came around about 300,000 years ago, whereas hominins. Let's see.
That's where the opposable thumbs came from. It was like when you show someone something on their phone and then they got to grab their glasses.
Hominins 6 million years ago. So yeah.
Do you think? Wait. Oh no, go on.
I was gonna
do a dumb joke about how our thumbs are gonna grow much longer to just hit all
for
the
the
things
iPhone.
on our phone.
Because these iPhones are getting so
They're
big.
too big. They're too big.
and skinnier.
People
and
in the
skinnier,
future.
right?
Oh, that guys, can we write a future screenplay? Let's write a future screenplay with all this kind of stuff in it and be like, oh man, people's thumbs must be huge. Another one that's gonna happen. Amish people. Oh man, they don't pay internet bill. They don't pay a phone bill. They must be the richest people in the world.
Yeah, so the Amish people have taken over.
So we get these humans of the future that have all these weird growths, and they're trying to research some civilization they found, these Amish, and so they're making all these assumptions.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's where the conflict comes in, because it's like, well, why would we grow longer thumbs if the Amish didn't have electricity, and so they wouldn't need to have longer thumbs to
There's
use
a
the device.
branch.
There's a gas can next to this wooden wheel.
Okay, talk about fossils. What kind of fossils are people going to find 100 million years from now?
Well, but this goes to the whole thing, because like this is sort of on theme with what we've been talking about the past couple of months, which is like, wait, it is, right? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry, I just connected the thought. I think like last week or a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about that, like ancient technologies, like ancient Egypt and stuff like that.
Yeah, we don't know how
we
it
were
works. Go on.
we were way more advanced, and then they got wiped out, and we're kind of rebuilding. We'll get wiped out, and then they'll
Yes.
rebuild and stuff like that. Like this kind
Yeah.
of goes along with it, right? Where
And
it's
it
like,
does specifically because some people think that what has happened, this kind of goes along with some kind of flood theory, because if you find they're finding footprints lower, and then let's say starts to turn into a fossil, gets covered or whatever, and the bodies get washed up to a higher level, and you'll find I don't remember how it was pieced together, but saying that like floods can affect us finding the skeletons separate from the
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
from the footprints.
Absolutely. Things getting washed around, pushed around, flash floods.
And maybe the flood is why the footprints got sealed, because it just covered up with some shit right away.
so what do you think? I mean, like, are we just kind of saying the same thing that we were saying last week, which is like, yeah, we just don't know. Like, we have no idea how long humans have been around, and we're finding more evidence that like maybe we're a lot older than we thought we were. Or
Yes. And like specifically hominins, I was reading something, and I'm not finding it right now, but they were saying like there was like at one point maybe I think 4 to 8 different hominid species all living together. And once Homo sapiens came around, the rest of them died off, and they're like, oh, so these things could all still have sex with each other, but yeah, we killed them all off.
but that kind of makes sense, right? Because like don't want to. Let's see how I can put this delicately. Like nobody fucks the dumbest guy in class.
Right. And if you want to call it racism, they weren't the same race, but it's just like
I
if
was
there's
gonna do more of like a Down syndrome kind of thing.
oh, I know. I was thinking if they found a Down syndrome Amish skeleton, and like, why is the head so shaped different? Is it?
Is that true? Are their head shaped
I
different? I
don't know.
thought the head was the one thing that was the same.
I don't know.
But I want to get off of this thin ice and I just like think like yeah, they all fucked each other and became Homo sapiens, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And then
it's
it was like and then it's just kind of breeding. I don't know if we killed the rest, maybe we did, but like it just feels like it's breeding. It's
Well,
just like
picture a less civilized version of today, and you've got these right wing hominids versus these left wing one. Well, one of them is just going to kill the other one. There's no reason to to listen to them.
yeah, yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Let's not
But
put any ideas out there. Um,
Yeah, I know, I know.
um, but yeah, no.
it doesn't
Well,
matter because
there's we see it in
conservatism will die with the children. Like they're not gonna.
yeah
Anyway, Crocky, what?
we see it with different species that they're constantly competing for food. They're competing for food and water, and I don't know. Maybe I do want to go down that rabbit hole a little bit. It's like, yeah, it'll be interesting what humans do because humans have so much power right now over other species.
Well, picture let's say we get into this dystopian future. Well, let's say technology goes away and we have to survive, and all the animals get out of the zoo. Uh, uh, if you don't kill the monkeys, they will eat you also.
Mhm.
So you have to kill them. So that's an interesting take to
Yeah.
be like, it didn't have to be a competition for food. I
Do
mean,
you think that though? Because I'll bet, like if I found a group of monkeys, if I'm in LA and the monkeys got out of the zoo and they're used to being around people and stuff, I feel like we would gang up and be like, let's get the dogs, let's get the cats, like let's take them down. And they're cuter than monkeys and stuff, but I'm not gonna tell these monkeys they can't eat cats, you know?
but I
I just
feel
think I want to be the last thing that they eat is all I'm saying. And like there's probably enough meat around that they don't have to eat me. And then I'll
That goes
fuck one of
into
them.
that
I'll fall
goes
in
into
love and
evolution.
I'll
He'll do it.
no go on, I'm
He'll
sorry.
do it, guys. Watch out. But yeah, no, it goes into like evolutionary tactics and like, what if you made yourself less edible? Like, is that possibly a tactic humans have done? Is like we've made ourselves less edible than.
Oh, just by like doing drugs and drinking alcohol and shit, just like
oh
we're the
yeah,
worst.
dude. Like they take a bite of us. It's like, oh,
Ah,
this one was drinking Coca-Cola for years.
his liver is calcified.
Because the world existence is so different when you have a predator. Like imagine, we are essentially the top of the food chain unless you're going to go walk around with grizzly bears or swim with killer whites. There's still places where a human can put themselves in a place where they're not the top of the food chain. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
But a bear could do that. You know, a bear could jump into the ocean and get eaten by a whale.
I'd
So
like to
like
see that.
fuck, we're not worse than bears. Like listen, I can't go one on one with a bear, but that's why we have like machine guns. I'll just fucking take that motherfucker out.
They aren't there like plasma guns now too? You just like charge it up, plug it in.
Like a Fallout 4 like plasma gun.
I feel like these are the things no one's talking about too. I'm on a roll here,
I'm
just trying
sure
to put
Willie
all
knows
my
all about it, dude. I mean,
conspiracy theories out.
they've got they've got weapons for sure that we haven't seen.
I mean,
Willie, do you know anything?
imagine a solar powered laser gun. Imagine having a solar powered laser gun and you just walk around the world.
Well, I mean, my thing is, I know that they're developing stuff like this in for like, in like Department of Defense, but I've never known of any available for. They do have them, but
Oh, I know a guy.
only
I know
military.
a
I've
guy.
never heard of a
Hook
person.
us up, dude. Hook us up. We got the Second Amendment. So, but
Okay, yeah, bring
let's
it back in. Bring it back in.
yeah, I kind of want to like kind of pull this all together. So, what does this mean? If humans or hominids were walking around at the same time as dinosaurs, what does that change for us and our knowledge of doesn't isn't that a little negative to be like, oh shit, it took us this long. We thought we were much faster at being evolved and like taking over the world, but really fucking holy shit, we've
Well,
been
maybe
around
it was
forever.
the things that Willie was talking about is like the people evolved, they advanced, and then there was a great reset, right? And then they evolved, advanced, and there's a great reset, like something comet hits or whatever happens, and
That's
um,
as far, yeah, that's as far as they got.
because
They got to be humans, but dinosaurs were still around and
that
they
stuff,
got all
yeah,
fucked
And
up.
I mean, picture this. Picture the way we live today. It's going to be more than rare to find a fossil of someone living today because we bury our dead and we cremate them.
mm,
And
And we live on concrete. We live
for
on
someone
concrete
to
and
fall
fucking
into that
asphalt.
situation,
mm,
how many fossils do you think of
wow,
humans were made that of humans that died last year? I mean,
wow.
Pompeii. I'm sorry, Pompeii. It just came to
yeah,
me.
thank you.
And we're also, yeah, the listeners at home are just they've been screaming
Yeah.
like for the past hour,
You're
Pompeii.
welcome for the payoff.
It's
I did it.
Pompeii.
But
Um,
what is this encouraging for us
okay, hang on.
the other
I
one?
want to jump in on that because that's I never thought about that before. Yeah, like how we're like basically like making it so we won't be known. Like we're obsessed with being seen. We're making, YouTube videos and Instagram reels and
Ah,
podcasts. We're obsessed with being seen and heard, but we're
Yeah.
keeping ourselves from the ultimate thing that would allow you to be seen and heard for
oh,
millions of years would
dude.
be becoming fossilized.
Would you pay for a fossilization company? It's like
That would be better than the cryogenics.
you can get a fire stick buried with you.
Yes. Yeah, they tell is it got a QR code?
And then you could see all my shitty Channel 101 shows.
Yeah, dude.
And people are like, well, I don't understand any of these
Dude,
jokes.
some billionaire is gonna hear this and they're gonna be like, I would like to be fossilized.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, forget mummification. What mummification lasts, what, tens of thousands of years? No. Fossilized, you're gonna last hundreds of millions of years.
Wow, dude.
Well, if anything, we got a new cool way to make money. We just
Yeah,
sell fossilization to
we'll
people.
go to
You
the
could.
sharks.
You could.
Okay, you're
No, okay.
important, right? How long is your legacy gonna last?
Hey, sharks, do you ever think that you're just sitting around for so long that you might as well be a fossil just on your couch? Well, what if you could be a fossil
You
forever?
could be
I
in the
fucking hate the
museums
pitches on
of the
Shark Tank.
future.
Tombstones will crumble. Books
So who wants
will.
to come along with me? And still, I don't have a closer. I hate Shark Tank so
I
much.
gave you all that's a fossil of my a finger. We made this. I don't know. You can't make them.
Yeah, we made this.
Let's rock.
You wave goodbye and all your fingers are gone.
Let's rock. Let's rock it. Oh, dude,
Let's
I like that too. These
yeah,
are
yeah,
great.
yeah.
All these pictures are
We're
great.
close.
Um,
I have a nice idea. Don't take it for granted.
ice like a night. Oh, okay. See, this is what we
Don't
need.
take your legacy for granted.
We need a pun
Get
man for our
fossilized today.
pitch. Mr.
Live,
Wonderful.
live on the Riviera. Reupholstered furniture, that is.
So it's interesting, and it's on theme. And is there anything else to say? I mean,
You got,
I think we've said it all.
hang on.
Yeah.
No, I had something. Is okay, so we're keeping ourselves from being fossilized, which this is blowing my mind right now because yeah, like if we were walking around the mud, walking around the sand, take off your shoes, like I think it is a call to action. I think it's a call to action. Get out of the city. You need a little that just barefoot in the mud kind of time.
right? Because there's gonna be more footprints. There's more only trace fossils from now, but you can't even attach anything to this time period.
Yeah, that would be insane. Because I also, what I started thinking about too in there is cars have been around for what, 100 years, just over 100 years. Like when you look at the rock layers, 100 years is nothing.
Yeah, it's
You know,
not even an inch.
like a millimeter. Yeah, like not even a millimeter. And so yeah, you think I don't know. Like obviously the things that creatures were building were like nests and maybe adobe homes and things like that that would have crumbled to time, whereas we do have metals and plastics
But metals
that
get eaten, oxidation, like nothing
yeah.
lasts.
Do you think that this is something that we want? Like as a society, community, whatever we are, um, do we want to be remembered? Like, I know that we all instinctually sort of just like when you're staring into the abyss of death and like I'm not going to exist anymore, you do think like, well, that's why I have children and that's why I make art or whatever, so that it will stand the test of time. But do you think us as a global society are caring about like the next thing that comes up in 2000 years? Can we help them? I feel like we're so selfish that like we don't even give a fuck about them.
Right.
Like,
The only people
Yeah.
that I've seen that push towards that, like that, I forget who did it, but this person built this pyramid in, is it New Mexico, Arizona, maybe? I don't know. And he's trying to write a history of humans, uh, etched in stone. And
Oh,
and
interesting.
and it is skewed, and he is religious, but he's trying to put up all this science stuff up too. Like, hey, here's the history of humans as of now. Uh,
Interesting.
History of the World, I think, is what it's called. And the pyramid is just something to go.
oh, well, hang on. I'm sorry. Like we have the seed bank that's
Seed bank.
Uh-huh.
in the is that in uh
Norway.
Alaska?
Norway?
No. Yeah, that's right. It's not
I think
Alaska.
it's I think it's
isn't it in the is
Scandinavia.
oh, is it? I thought it was in the
Well, there's possibly
Antarctica.
multiples.
yeah.
I imagine there's, it's like
Sure. But we do
on
but
that
so we do
I think you should
but
leave. Like I got doubles. I got doubles of this car.
yeah, I got triples.
Like,
I got triples of the yeah.
so- oh, sea banks? I got triples.
But as a
But
society,
that's what you honestly want. Triple. If you're gonna have triples of anything, I had a weekend hanging with some tribal members, and they were talking about they're trying to save this one species of agave. And this stuff comes up a lot with the tribes in Arizona. It's like they might lose a species of, bean or squash or something, and they're looking around for seeds, and they sometimes go to the museum to see if the museum
oh
has seeds.
snap!
Really?
This has happened. Yes.
What about bananas? Bananas are crazy now, right? And I know that bananas is synonymous with crazy, but like it is weird that bananas have changed so much and we don't
Yeah,
even know
dude.
what a real banana tastes like.
Yeah, that shit is bananas.
It's crazy.
Bananas.
And fucking Gwen Stefani is making money off of it. Fucking bitch.
Yeah. When are we gonna make a song? Three of us right here.
Anytime, let's do it. I'm just learning that you're like a gift of
Who
gab.
made your beats? Yeah.
I was the producer. I was the beat producer, but it evolved. I started making beats when I was a teenager, so I was known for that. I actually I performed live when I was 17 years old, and my first live performance was 2 miles from Taylor Swift's house. And I always like to joke and say that she saw me on local access television and said, I could do that. Because, yeah, she obviously became more famous than me. I moved to LA, and then a year later, she moved to Nashville and blew up.
Yeah. So, well,
Okay,
we should end
sorry,
the episode.
weird story.
No, no, no.
But we had something good going there.
What, the seeds and stuff? Yeah.
No, I wanted to sort of bring around that idea of like being remembered. So you were asking about us as a whole. You're saying
Yeah,
like
do you really
like
think that we
we're
want to be remembered? Yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
we're in this insane time of culture, right? Where we aren't doing group things like fairy tales or the Bible or tradition stories. Like those were group things that people created art or music as a group. And now we're in this such an individual thing where people are like, this is my art, this is my music, this is my story. And everybody so bad wants to be seen, wants to be heard that yeah, we are losing sort of like what if like an entire state came together and said, hey, we're gonna build a 600-foot tall pyramid in this state and we need the help of everyone in the just just pledge one day.
You don't
If
have to
every
pay taxes if you participate, something like that.
Yeah, like there's 300 million people in America, so imagine if one person pledged one day to some project. Imagine what we could do all together.
Well, and
What
picture
would
something happening like a solar flare that would knock out technology for a second for people to like have it set and be like, oh, this is pretty vulnerable.
wait,
And
but hang on though, because I want to go down a different road. Like I think like that I think Crocky's onto something here where it's like, all right, so let's build a pyramid, something that will withstand the test of time. You know how everyone in their grade school always had the what is it called? The time canister?
time
What
Oh
capsule,
yeah,
yeah,
time
sure.
capsule.
time capsule? So it is in us to be like, oh, hey, remember the past, like, and here's where we were and stuff. Like if we were making the pyramids, what would be what? Why would you to show them what? Like, and is that a clue to the actual pyramids? Like they were just trying to like not be erased from history.
Okay, can I say two things on that? So one theory, one of my favorite theories about the pyramids is like it was an ancient power plant. But the other
Yeah,
thing is the symbolism. Have you guys ever seen those charts where they like have the symbolism of like the pituitary gland and the pineal gland compared to the inner chambers of the pyramid and
of
how it almost
course.
like
Of
looks like a
course.
brain.
We've
And so
been doing
like
this for 10 years.
so
Yeah, we've
there's
seen it.
so there you guys ever hear of gremlins, these things that they're afraid of
Gremlins,
water.
I heard Gremlins 3 is about to come out.
Do you guys ever, do you ever have a dream
That you could wish and a star and then something
um,
dream anything you
okay,
want.
so the pyramid. The other thing,
Should we
the,
talk about the pyramids? Should we talk about what you're about to say? Because we really do need to end this episode because I'm stressed out
this
for
is
Willie to edit this.
an episode ender right here. Is
Okay.
are we as we look at these fossils, and there's one I'm studying right now. I just talked to one of the top geologists, Carl Karlstrom of University of New Mexico, about it. They're the oldest known evidence of a vertebrate walking in sand, and they were found in the Grand Canyon in 2016. They were just revealed because of a rock slide in 2016. Nobody knew about them, but they're now dated to be 313 million years old. And this is the oldest evidence that basically, whenever a fish came out of the water and said, I'm going to walk on land, this is our oldest evidence of seeing. Well, maybe I'm stretching it there, but the oldest evidence of a vertebrate creature walking in a sand dune in the world, and they were just revealed in 2016. So they're also going to vanish. That's not going to be around forever because what the trail workers did is they just put it on the side of the trail. They didn't pull this thing out in a helicopter and put it in a museum. It's just sitting there. It'll crumble to time like anything else. And so it begs the question, will we find everything? Will we figure everything out? Or are we just meant to enjoy life and not worry about our legacy, not worry about leaving all these things behind, and just enjoy the experience?
Yeah, and I think it's a very subjective question. I mean, it's like, are you a narcissist or are you cool? You know?
Hey,
Do you need people to know that you existed or are you
you,
cool?
you want to take a hit of this joint?
Right. Do you
Anytime.
have a Wikipedia page of your family? And then what happens when digital? I only brought up the thing earlier, like trying to give a purpose for someone to go beyond the regular technological ways of having a history of you and your family. Sorry, I don't even mean to bring up a new topic,
Yeah.
but I'm going like, that still will be important to people in the near future, especially the upper class.
I
You
guess.
know, what would be interesting too. I'd love to interview somebody. I mean, this happens all over the world, but like closer to home for you guys, you probably know people who lost their home in the LA fires. And what do you go through mentally when you lose everything? And you're just like, like, do some people try to amass all the possessions that they had? Do some people say, "Oh, that was meant to happen, and I guess I'm meant to have a simpler life"?
I mean, I can answer. I know that when I lose something, I get over it almost immediately because who gives a shit? Like when my computer dies and I lose like a script or something, it's kind of like, um, I'll just redo another script. I don't care. I don't care that much, you know? I don't care about my family photos and shit. I don't care, man. I'm just out here. I'm just out here doing shit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I care too
I
much.
like that.
I still have newspaper clippings from high school. Even if that I'm not even in, like my
Give up.
friends.
Give up.
Here's when Bill was in the
Give
paper.
up. Give
I'm
up.
trying to learn the experience thing, and I something that helped me a lot is I hiked with a blind man last year. It's a whole other story, but just trying to understand blind people. They don't have things on their walls. They don't have art on their walls. They don't have posters. I mean, sure they could. Maybe I'm not going to speak for everybody, but like it's a weird concept when you think about it. What if you went blind? Like how many things would you get rid of?
This is a
Everything?
this is a lame question. Do you think that there's like braille dick pics where it's just like the shape?
Oh my God. Yes. How do blind people do porn?
They just feel like, I mean,
Yeah, but like, what if you don't have a woman or a man there?
you got like department stores. They got mannequins.
Ah!
Yeah,
Oh, wait, we have to. I'm so
yeah. Let's get
I'm
out of here.
so fucking scared for you to have to edit this down. So let's end the episode. And Crocky, thank you so much for being here. Do you have any plugs or anything that you want to do? It's
Um,
youtube.com/Grand Canyon TV. You can see
TV.
all of
Yep.
his what's the word?
Um,
Adventures.
Adventures. Yeah,
Adventures.
I'll have a video about these trackways, the oldest known evidence
Oh,
of a
nice.
vertebrate walking in a sand dune. I'm gonna have a video coming up on that. That's my study right now.
He just did a cleaning up trash in the Grand Canyon wrap.
Yeah. Shout outs to Walton Goggins goggle glasses. Some of my TikToks went viral and they sent me a pair of these Goggins glasses. So
Oh,
I
cool.
have
Is that what
to,
you're wearing on your head?
yeah,
I
I
saw him
just,
wearing those today. Cool. That's
I
awesome.
have to tell the world about it. I mean,
Wait,
they're just so
what is
incredible.
he in where he's wearing those?
It's something he created. I don't know if he wears them in any shows or anything, but it's
What's good about them? What's the proprietary thing?
well, so you can put arms on it or it comes standard with the band. So it's like you can move around and do activities. I took him for a run in the canyon and you know, good for those high speed activities, boating and mountain biking.
Do they come with a set of big teeth?
Hey, I got that fake tooth. I think that was his story. Walton Goggins like got his teeth knocked out, so they're like fake teeth.
I've heard something about that. And yeah. Well, we got to end the episode. Thank you everyone for listening. Willie, you got anything or we're good?
Yeah.
All right. Willie Bad Movies. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you. We love you. Patreon.com/RealLifeSciFi. Thanks, Crocky.
Real life sci-fi.